So today is Thursday the 21st of August. It's the last day of my dieta in camp. And my skin is just amazing after 2 weeks. Now that the family witch curse is finally gone in the last ceremony, my skin is healing incredibly well. I've still got the horror mark though. Maestro's put more, we actually used sort of like an anti-bacterial agent from the chemist as well in brilliantine and sulfur. I think it might be sulfur. It's like a packet of green powder. And I've got to make it every day while I'm on the dieta for the next 3 months when my skin's a bit green, because it's got this green oil all over it. Well, it's like a brilliantine is a very nice smell, you know, like the rockers used to use in their hair in the 50s, and to replenish my skin. But my hand, look at the difference. 2 weeks, but it was really good after 4 days. Once that witch hex was removed, it was noticeable the next day. So this video is a bit for the group. So if it's the 21st, 22nd, so the group starting at Lighthouse on the 25th of August for the next 3 weeks. Your ayahuasca is made here because Maestro's obviously making a big bottle for 3 weeks worth. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to just walk down and we're just going to light the fire soon. His relative George is collecting the ayahuasca and presumably bringing the chacruna, because we don't have that growing near here. I think he said it's 4 kilos, so it'll be 4 kilos of ayahuasca, 4 kilos of chacruna, and start brewing that up in a minute. I'm gonna go over and light the fire. I'll film it. They're doing it in a different area. It was up there last time, but it's over there. But obviously this is reversed because it's the camera's facing me. So let's see if I can. I have to join these videos together now. This A70 is shit. You can't turn the video, you can't turn the camera around and without stopping the video. Whereas my A50, you can. How pathetic is that? There's a very noisy bird in that tree today. So there's the camp area, a bit bigger now. There's the big room, permanently so netted off from mosquitoes. Although there aren't any mosquitoes this time of year, August. There's so few. I've only had a couple of bites in a couple of weeks. And I didn't even feel them, to be honest. So let's follow the noisy bird, wherever he is, she. This is the lemon tree. Obviously a lot of stuff's dry now because it's hot season. There's a lemon still on the tree. So Maestro Jairo's clearing his land there as well, because he's going to be, oh, you noisy bugger. Beautiful though. So Maestro Jairo, his half of the land starts over there somewhere, and he's building a house pretty close. And we've got Nemias and Darlin, 2 of Maestro's 5 sons. I think he's got 9 kids. He's got 5 girls and 4 boys. So we've got this nice shady there. Oh, this is nice. Cleared out this shady bit. Build the fire, which will probably kill the bloody trees because it gets pretty hot, obviously, with a big pot. Oh, there's the bag of chacruna. And so here's your chacruna, Lighthouse gang. 4 kilos.
2 kilos en cada bolsa.
So there's 2 kilos in each bag. So you got 6 kilos. It says 6 kilogramos de ayahuasca también, maestro.
4 kilos, señor.
4.
No, ayahuasca sí, más.
¿Cuánto más?
4 kilos por lo menos. ¿Más?
So there's your ayahuasca.
5.
What? Total? Kilogramos? No.
Calcúlale. 5.
5. So you got about 6 kilograms of chacruna there, leaves. Which is these.
Del año debe haber 4 muertos.
and 5 kilograms of
Ayuno, ya,
5 kilograms of ayahuasca. There's the classic pattern of ayahuasca. And there's the big pot for boiling it all up. Come on, banana.
Es banana para curar la olla, lo que está roto. Este es muy resistente al fuego. Esto se lo cura cuando tiene roto, raspando. Se le cura acá. Para que no caiga el líquido.
I hope you got that, kids. Bit beyond my Spanish, that was. ¿Cuál es el nombre de la madera por el fuego, maestro? Es especial, ¿no? Es muy duro.
Y eso sirve para poner, para que la olla no voltee.
Sí, pero para el fuego.
Las leñas.
Sí.
Leñas.
Sí, ¿cuál es el nombre de ese madera más duro?
Ya más duro es la huacapurana.
Wakapurana.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done a dieta on that. It's a very hard tree, and spiritually it gives a lot of protection for a dieta. So I've done a dieta of Wakapurana. Wakapurana, Maestro, is a grande árbol ahí, no? So that big tree, that's the dieta tree that I did. It's normally got those hanging nests on it. See how big it is? That's Wakapurana. So that wood, not from that actual tree, but obviously the bark from the tree for the dieta, but that tree wood is really hard. So it's, they use it for firewood sometimes because it gets really hot to be able to boil all the ayahuasca for 8 hours or so, depending. Sort of do it in two main stages. And if you're lucky, you might put some bobinsana in with it, in which case I might get my spiritual wife to give her your love, your brew. So when he sings bobinsana or cognac, if you hear bobinsana spirits singing along with you, you'll know it's I've asked her to. Oh, muy flaco, es pequeño. So, entonces, maestro, no es de uno mínimo. Todo ese ayahuasca es del mismo años.
Del mismo año, si no es que tiene la punta, se va más
Sí.
más delgado. Y
Sí. ¿Y cuántos años? ¿Es 5 más o menos?
Posiblemente 5 años.
So this is 5-year-old ayahuasca, which is sort of the minimum that you want. You don't want to cut it before 5 years old. What you make your brew with. So you can see this is it's amarillo aquí, maestro, ¿no?
Yeah.
Bueno, ¿no?
Sí.
So your cielo ayahuasca, this is sky ayahuasca, so this is the good stuff. The really nice spiritual stuff. As opposed to something like if it was black, you wouldn't be using it because that's what the witches use when they want to do nasty shit to people in their ayahuasca brews. Maybe puts hexes on them or control their mind in ceremony to get them to do things like give the shaman money or spend things on him. And of course the client doesn't know. This is the sort of crap that goes on in the Amazon with many bad shamans. So you have to be careful in retreats. You have to choose your retreats very carefully and make sure you read all the reviews. And if there's one bad review, I'd think twice about going there. If anyone's had anything like sexual advances by the shaman in, during or after ayahuasca ceremonies, yeah, that's not what you want at all. So this is, the shamans have been corrupted by the dark side of the magic. And all they care about is money with themselves and not the clients. So you've got to be really careful of that. So choose your retreats very carefully on ayaadvisor.org and read all the reviews. Don't just go by price because that's what you can afford. Because obviously the cheap one might be a dodgy shaman to get people there. And if it's your first time and you don't know anything, you can be in a lot of trouble. We could tell you some horrendous stories, but I'll write that up on the webpage when I get doing it, when I'm back in Iquitos for our plans for Maloka here. So the ayahuasca has the bark taken off, because the more bark that's left in it, the more bitter the taste is. So try to get rid of as much of the bark as possible. And because the wood's harder, that goes in at the bottom layer to protect the chacruna leaves from burning. So you have a first layer of ayahuasca at the bottom, and then a layer of chacruna, then a layer of ayahuasca, a layer of chacruna, and so on. And I'll pop back at various times of the day. I mean, I've already got the video up, as you know, of doing a whole day when I was here. We prepared our brew for me and for some people in the retreat after. But this is specifically for Monday, because Maestro is working at Lighthouse on Monday. It's Thursday today. ¿Cuántos litros, Maestro, por todo de eso hoy?
Unos 3 litros. Uno de esos llenos. ¿Tienen cuánto? 3 litros.
3 liters. So cuando finito eso, 3 litros. So when it's reduced down in 2 stages, it'll fill that bottle, that 3 litre bottle. More, maybe a bit less, or it depends on how it boils, obviously. So I'll pop back at various stages today, so you can see the process again. So I hope you now appreciate why every drop of ayahuasca is precious, because that pile there is pretty much Maestro did. It took half an hour just to do that. We've got all of that to do yet, but that's enough for the first layer at the bottom. It's fine. Now Darling's taking over. So there's a really good thick layer on the bottom before the first bag of chacruna is put in, to stop the chacruna burning on the bottom. Of course, as you probably know, it's the chacruna that contains the DMT. Oh, ¿y esta? ¿Los frutos de qué? Ah, I've never seen that before. There's the chacruna fruit. That's new. Berries. ¿Cuándo es posible para comer? Pero grandi visiones. See, obviously, even if you ate it, you wouldn't get any effect.
Puro peos. Puro huevo.
Oh, he's putting 2 bags in. This one. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know how it works, the DMT would be broken down in your stomach and it wouldn't work. And that's the job of the ayahuasca, because it contains, what is it called again? I can't remember, something or other. Monoacidose or something or other, anyway. And that prevents the DMT being broken down in your stomach and your liver. So it enables it to get to your brain, to your pineal gland. So it looks like it's going to be 3 or 4 layers of 3 layers of chacruna and 4 layers of ayahuasca. put it on the fire, and then that whole bucket of river water there, which is 20 litres or so, will go in for the first brew. And then when that's reduced down, they'll pour some off and top it up with another bucket, and then that will boil down again, and then be more or less, hopefully, sort of 3 litres left of the thicker syrupy stuff when it's really reduced. What the hell is it called? Monoamino acidase, I think. Monoamino acidase. Something like that. I have to check it again. And of course, other shamans do sometimes put other stuff in it, like toe, which is the bell-shaped plant. I can't remember what we call that in English now either. What Brunfelsia is it? I don't know. Can't remember. Not very good with the plant names. And that creates different effects, and possibly not a good thing. It depends on what the shaman's trying to do. And of course, it can be used with other plants as well to give other consequences for unwitting foreigners, or usually, or anybody really, but usually for foreigners if they want to do something nasty like mind control, or have power in them and put a spell on them or something. Nasty business. That's my contribution. I won't be doing anything for this brew today. It's too hot. I won't be bashing that, that's for sure. And I've got a sweatshirt on because I can't have sun on my skin while for the next 3 months, while my skin is healing from the effects of this hex that I've just suffered, along with 3 others prior to that in my time. It's a really nasty business, it really is. That's why you need a lot of protection. If you're going to continue your journey in ayahuasca, you need to start doing dietas with trees for protection. The fire's coming along. It looks like he's going to put everything in one pot. I mean, trying not to waste anything. So obviously it's, takes an ayahuasca vine 5 years to minimum to grow to be ready to brew. And you should imagine at the rate that retreats are using it in Peru alone, I can imagine it's going to be a very rare resource one day if it's not cultivated and cared for properly. So Maestro's hoping to grow more here. We've got one right there by the tree. I've got to grow some chacruna here too. So it's... ¿Cuántos años, Maestro, por la chacruna está listo?
Desde los 3 años por delante.
3 años. So 3 years for chacruna to grow and be ready to take the leaves for the ayahuasca brew. So, like many processes that use natural resources, it takes a long time to grow or form, and then only a matter of weeks to use. Because this brew, if they had the maximum clients at Lighthouse, which is 8, that would fit in their Maloka there. So that would be 3 ceremonies a week. So 3, it's a 24, that's 24 drinks. And then maybe a second cup for everybody. So as much as nearly 50, up to 50 drinks per week. And for 3 weeks. So you could be knocking up to 100 to 150 cups of ayahuasca in the next 3 weeks, which would use probably all of the 3-litre bottle. a lot of extra bashing because of these thin parts instead of it all being really thick pieces. Got a lot more individual bits to do. You can see the muscles on Maestro's forearms from 25 years of shamanism preparing ayahuasca, and probably from the age of 12 his first ceremony was with Peter Gorman when he took ayahuasca at 12 years old. He's probably been preparing it at least since then in his family, and all the building work they do. They're muscular, they're strong guys, maybe thin but wiry, but they're strong. And of course with all the ayahuasca and plant spirit energy going through your body for a lifetime, they're tough as nails. So your group, when you've had if it's your first time and you've had your first experience of ayahuasca and you want to continue it a bit further, we'll be offering dietas here, and we're going to start building the Maloka soon, hopefully by October. But first we've got to get the internet in here. We've got to get Starlink, which is what we're going to look into, me and Maestro, at the weekend. Get Starlink in so the boys, because someone's got to be here all the time now, because as they do more work, you can't have thieves coming in and nicking their floorboards and that kind of business. So one of the boys has to stay here for overnight all the time to look after the place. Darling, tú necesitas un grande perro por compañía aquí en la noche, ¿no? Por seguridad.
Un bulldog.
No, más grande.
Rottweiler.
Sí, Rottweiler.
Chihuahua.
Un chihuahua es comido por un gavilán. So, chihuahua would be food for one of the birds of prey here. We get hawks here, but I don't see eagles, but we get the big vultures. There's a family of vultures that came. Oh, yesterday we had a garza, which is the white stork, and he was walking around the campsite, and then he came right in the kitchen area where we wash the dishes and just walked straight underneath the house, just totally unfazed. It was wonderful. Great big yellow beak on him. He was eating insects because obviously everything's dry now. There's not much fish in the river, and the rivers are really low. But it's just so different this time of year with no I mean, it's hot, but it's so much different not having mosquitoes. It makes all the difference to be able to enjoy your time in the jungle. As you come in after October, November, December, rainy seasons, because the other problem here is you have, for Westerners, it doesn't bother the locals, but I get the little mosquitoes, the little tiny midge things, and they buzz in your ears like twice a day primarily, first thing in the morning and then about 5 o'clock in the evening. And if you're sick, as I was, with lots of just lifetime of trauma-based stress, and then all the demons that went with that, and then this family hex, my irritation levels were off the charts. So, and your mind, it's the first time in my life at 61 years of age since the day after that witch was removed, my mind was completely different, just so relaxed and calm compared to the sort of relative incessant irritability that's so difficult to stay on top of, when you're bothered by irritating little things, which is a lot of my family. And it's because we have a familial hex that goes back generations. Evil, absolute evil. And it was so strong that the medicine couldn't even see it for the last 4 years I've been doing ayahuasca. And finally, with the other hexes gone and all the other demons of a lifetime, it finally showed itself, and Maestro saw it, and it was covered in the same sores that was on my body, but each of them 20 times larger all over the body of this witch. And it tried to attack Maestro in the ceremony. but obviously he's too strong. Every shaman's too strong for witches, but you know, there are different degrees of strength of bad spirits as well as good, you know. It's a fascinating business, and anyone who poo-poos it and thinks it's all jungle mumbo jumbo, then there's a whole aspect of the reality of the universe that you're not opening your mind to the possibilities. Well, it's a reality. It's not a possibility. It is a reality. There's the pressure stick to put in and push everything down with. Keep it below the waterline. See how accurate Maestro is with machete. Perfect. So it's going to have 40 litres of liquid put through that pot today. 2 bucketfuls, and it will reduce down to only 3. So you can see the amount of work. It takes be about 8 hours today. Anyway, when that's done, I'll pour the water on and it will be lifted onto the fire. And we'll come back a bit later. Oh, Maestro, el plátano, para ayahuasca.
Este es para curar la olla cuando está vieja, los rotos. Y este es muy resistente al fuego.
Ah, ok.
Ya. Porque este tiene un pequeño agujero que es necesario curar para que no se derrame líquido.
Well, I didn't get much of that, but basically saying it's a, I think the leaves are old. Oh yeah, the pot's old. He's using it as a paste to protect the pot from cracking. So that's interesting. Using a platano as a fire retardant. Este olla tiene un pequeño hojas, Maestro. Pequeños huecos. Ah, so it has got little holes in it.
Ya está muy viejo ya.
Oh, that's interesting. Didn't have to do that last time. It's obviously had a few brew more since the last, when was it, 5 months ago I was here. We did a brew for us and some for Lighthouse back then. It must have been, I don't know, February or something. It's now August. All the little secrets of the jungle, eh? Los secretos de la selva, Maestro, ¿no? Secretos, secretos. Oh, it's hot. It's a beautiful day. So the Maloka is going to come out the far end on a bridge for about 20 meters. be about there. And it's going to be circular with a calamina, the metal calamina roof. And then 2 tambos way back where I did my dietas, where I had my bed in the other videos, where I had to do, you know, the overnights in the jungle next to my diet tree on my own. However many times I did that in various parts of this jungle, 5, 6 or something, I don't know, 6 nights on my own. Various different trees. I didn't do a bed under that tree because the land around it was so dense. It was just a nightmare to chop through and get to. So we did another tree somewhere. I can't remember now. I'll have to look at my videos in my playlists. Huacaparana. Very tall tree. And then the other big one around here, which is very special, is the Lapuna, which is that big fella over there, other side of this one. Can't really see it from here. That's the one with the face in it that Maestro put the Mapacho cigarette in his mouth. Give the tree a smoke. Wonderful. The size of these palms. The leaves are just ridiculous when they're dry like that. It must weigh a ton of dried leaves when they fall. There's been a lot of leaves falling and you can hear them drop in the jungle because it's dry now. So there. You see some of these trees looking a bit wilted. Although a few days ago we did have a really big rainstorm, but the rivers are so low. They get so low apparently, it's only like a foot, maybe a foot of water, and sometimes they have to actually carry the boat through various parts just to be able to get back to Juana Herrera, and then from there back on the main river. Poof. Back to Iquitos. What's Maestro wrecking now? Right, so that'll be brewing for 8 hours. So it's 9:30 in the morning. Come back in a few hours. So it's 2 hours later. There's Maestro smoking his mapacho, putting his energies into the drink. So there's your drink, your Aya, for the next 3 weeks, bubbling away. 4 o 5 horas más, Maestro, no? 4 or 5 hours to go. So it's 20 past 11 now, so it's been going for 2 hours now, or since the start of prep, 2 hours more or less. Can't really smell it yet, there's too much smoke anyway. Okay, Lighthouse groups for September. This is your Ayahuasca after the first 20 litres. This is the second 20 litres. So it's friggin' hot on that other side where it's bubbling out the pot. See it? There's fountains popping up there. Look. So that second 20 litres will be added, or left in, or whatever. And then that put back in and then reduced down to 3. In a few hours. Pobre Maestro, muy caliente, pero just lifted it off the fire. Grupos de Lighthouse por septiembre. It's really hot today, man. Like 3 days ago, it was boiling. So I'm going to drain the rest of the last bit off into the big bucket. Heavy. Every drop is precious. Oh, pea colour. Rich pea colour. Nice yellow. Bueno amarillo, Maestro. It's like a big barrel of real ale fermenting. Being molested by mosquitoes again in my ears. Driving me nuts. Those little flies that are buzzing around Darwin, but they don't go near his ears. Only gringos. Cada última gota, no? Every last drop. Slow process. It's an 8-9 hour day. Make ayahuasca. And then tip all that out. Get the pot empty again. And that 20 litres in that bucket gets reduced down to about, well, hopefully 3. There's all your layers coming out. Sort of smells, get the old whiff of it, and it's sort of a bit, I don't know, molasses kind of, or similar something. Like warm sugar, burny sugar. Well, the plátano did well, keeping the holes plugged. The plátano bloqueó los huecos, bueno.
Sí.
¿Cuántos años de esta olla?
Oh, muchos años.
¿Días de Papa Julio?
No.
No.
Peter Gordon.
Peter Gorman.
Compró.
So, oh, Peter Gorman bought this pot. Wow, you guys get to drink from Peter Gorman's pot. So now you've got to buy his book, Ayahuasca in My Blood, because it's a fantastic read. If you want to know about what ayahuasca is really all about in the days when it was stronger, and some of the visions that he had in Papa Julio's day, His ayahuasca is different now, it's not as strong. Although, you probably won't think that if it's your first time and you have a strong ceremony.
Luego vamos a cernir para que no vaya las sucias.
Sí, necesito una...
Ahí va a traer, maestro.
¿No tienes una
Sí,
limpio?
maestro, a lavar el polo.
Oh, right, Maestro's gone to wash his shirt because that's what he uses the filter to catch all the bits out. And then that liquid, 20 litres. ¿Cuántas horas más por 20 litros? Probablemente 3 horas. Depende de calor.
Unas 2 horas.
So 2 hours more, and that 20 litres will reduce down to hopefully 3 or maybe less. The last time we did it, there was about 3/4 of 3 litres. It was a bit less than the big bottle. Maestro has to clean and prep that bottle as well with mapacho smoke before the ayahuasca is put into it. And of course all the time he's blowing his shaman energies into it to infuse it with spiritual energy. I think I missed that bit. Yeah, obviously you can see what they're doing, but Maestro washed his shirt so to act as a sieve, and then so you can't catch any bits in it, and then can't smell it. Get the odd whiff, but so that's that part, you get the idea. ¿Cuántos años esta hoja de Peter Goldman, Maestro? ¿Cuántos años de hoja?
Muchos años.
¿30 años?
No,
No, 40.
menos. Unos 15.
15 años, so it's a 15-year-old pot. Wow. And then again, every last drop, don't waste any. So,
Chocolate.
Cerveza. Cerveza de brujo. Oh, so try. So prep the last bit of the fire and then pot on there for 2 hours. It really bubbles. When it's boiling, it can come right to the top again as bubbles. So there you go, kids. Nearly done.